Hey guys, welcome back to HVL Gamer. Are you wasting half of your character's power without even realizing it? I'm seriously asking, because after playing NTE for a while and looking through the consoles of many players in the community, I've noticed that a lot of people are equipping cartridges and modules with the mindset of, this looks decent, so I'll just use it, without actually understanding how the system underneath works. Today, I'm going to fully break down the entire console system in NTE from start to finish. The complete cartridge list, how modules work, how to farm them, and the current meta builds that players are using the most right now. This is honestly the kind of video I wish I had on day one of playing this game. Before we jump into the content, if you find these kinds of in-depth guides useful, make sure to subscribe right now. My channel is still in its early stages, and every single subscription genuinely means a lot because it gives me more motivation to keep making high-quality videos. All right, let's get started. First, I need to clarify how the console system in NTE actually works, because it's completely different from the artifact or relic systems you see in other gacha games. In NTE, every character has their own unique console with a fixed grid layout. You place a cartridge into the main slot, then fit modules into the grid almost like playing Tetris. I'm not joking. You actually have to rotate and fit the module pieces into the exact shape required by the cartridge in order to activate the set bonus. This is where a lot of new players get confused. Many people think that simply equipping enough modules is enough, but in reality, if the shapes don't match correctly, the set bonus will not activate. Understanding this is the foundation for everything else in today's video. Now let's talk about cartridges. Currently, the game has 12 S-Rank cartridge sets, and I'm going to go through every single one so you can fully understand their effects. First is Lost Radiance, the set designed for the Cosmos element. The 2-piece bonus grants 10% Cosmos damage, while the 4-piece bonus allows your ultimate to ignore 25% of the enemy's defense for 20 seconds after casting it. This set is extremely powerful for Cosmos characters. Next is Fireflies and the Forest for the Anima element. The 2-piece bonus increases anima damage by 10%, while the 4-piece bonus grants 8% critical damage whenever nearby enemies take anima damage. This effect stacks up to 7 times for a total of 56% critical damage, and each stack lasts 10 seconds, even when the character is off-field. This is currently one of the most commonly used sets in the meta. Crimson Twin Butterflies is the set for the incantation element. The 2-piece bonus gives 10% incantation damage, while the 4-piece bonus grants 6% ATK whenever nearby enemies take incantation damage. This can stack up to 6 times, each lasting 10 seconds, and it also works while off-field. Diabolos is the Chaos element set. The 2-piece bonus increases chaos damage by 10%, while the 4-piece bonus ignores 12% chaos resistance from normal enemies. This effect increases to 24% for 20 seconds after triggering either Nova or Scorch reactions. Devil's Blood Curse is the Psyche set. The 2-piece bonus grants 10% Psyche damage, while the 4-piece bonus increases total damage dealt by 18%, which jumps to 36% when attacking enemies affected by Nova or Stain. This becomes an incredibly dangerous armor-shredding tool if your team is built correctly. Street Boxer is the set for Lakshana. The 2-piece bonus increases Lakshana damage by 10%, while the 4-piece bonus grants 14% critical rate normally and increases to 28% for 20 seconds whenever an ally inflicts Remora or Stain on an enemy. Kingdom's Guard is the defensive set. The 2-piece bonus increases DEF by 15%, while the 4-piece bonus boosts shield effectiveness by 20%. This is mainly intended for tank characters. Shadow Creed gives 10% ATK as its 2-piece effect, while the 4-piece effect grants 25% ATK for 20 seconds after using a skill. This is the classic pure offensive ATK set for characters that scale heavily with raw attack stats. Thea's Night Tavern is the healing set. The 2-piece bonus increases maximum HP by 10%, while the 4-piece bonus improves healing effectiveness by 20%. Tiny Big Adventure also focuses on HP. The 2-piece effect gives 10% maximum HP, while the 4-piece effect grants 4% HP every time the character loses HP, stacking up to 10 times. What's interesting is that using your ultimate instantly grants all 10 stacks at once. Speedy Hedgehog increases charge efficiency by 12% with its 2-piece bonus, while the 4-piece effect grants the entire team 15% ATK for 20 seconds after using an ultimate. This makes it an extremely strong support-oriented team buff set. And finally, Quiet Manner is the mental damage set. The 2-piece bonus increases mental damage by 10%, while the 4-piece effect grants an additional 12% mental damage whenever you use normal attacks. This effect stacks up to 3 times, with each stack lasting 6 seconds. Now let's talk about modules, because this is the part that many players completely overlook without properly understanding it. Modules come in 3 sizes. Type 2 occupies 2 tiles, Type 3 occupies 3 tiles, and Type 4 occupies 4 tiles. Every module has 2 fixed main stats, flat ATK and flat HP. They also have random substats that unlock at upgrade levels 5, 10, 15, and 20. Possible substats include ATK percentage, HP percentage, DF percentage, critical rate, and critical damage. In terms of raw values, an S-Rank Type 4 module at level 20 can reach roughly 84 ATK and 1120 HP, while a Type 2 module reaches around 42 ATK and 560 HP. The substat values are also higher on Type 4 modules. For example, critical rate can reach up to 4%, while critical damage can go up to 8% at maximum level for a single module. The most important thing about modules is that each character has their own preferred module type, and equipping the correct type grants additional bonus stats. Specifically, Mint gains an extra 7.5% critical rate for every Type 3 module equipped. This is why there is no universal module formula for every character. You absolutely need to know which module type your character prefers if you want to optimize properly. As for farming, cartridges drop from Rabbit Hole Anomaly Zones when you spend stamina using Character Pixels, or through the Rewind Gacha using Carrota Bronze. Each rabbit hole area only drops specific cartridge sets, so you need to know exactly which set you want and farm the correct location. Modules, on the other hand, can only be obtained through the Rewind Gacha. There is no other way to farm them. Rewind has 3 difficulty levels. Easy gives B-rank modules, Normal unlocks A-rank modules at Hunter level 20, and Hard unlocks S-rank modules at Hunter level 30. You spend Carrota to roll, and you can also use the module selection feature to prioritize up to 8 preferred module shapes, increasing the drop rate for the ones you need. Carrota itself is earned by completing rabbit hole content and speaking to the NPC inside afterward. One important thing to note is that selecting duplicate shapes to further increase their probability costs an additional 5 Carrota each time, so think carefully before doing it. Now we get to the build section, the part I think most of you clicked on this video for. For Daffodil sub DPS and support, the most suitable set is Devil's Blood Curse for the Psyche element. The 4-piece bonus, providing 36% total damage against enemies affected by Nova or Stain, is an absolutely terrifying number, and this is exactly the kind of mechanic Daffodil was designed to abuse. She specializes in applying Nova and Stain onto enemies, increasing both her own damage and the entire team's damage during that buff window. For modules on Daffodil, depending on her console layout, you should prioritize Type 2 or Type 3 in order to gain critical rate and ATK percentage from substats. The ideal way to play her is together with Chaos characters to guarantee that Nova is always active on enemies. At that point, the full 4-piece Devil's Blood Curse effect activates, and Daffodil becomes an incredibly effective amplifier for the entire team. For Mint sub DPS, the most suitable set is either Fireflies and the Forest, or Shadow Creed, depending on the team composition. Fireflies works better in Blossom reaction teams, where Mint can continuously trigger anima stacks, while Shadow Creed is more suitable when you want stronger burst ATK after using a skill. The biggest advantage when building Mint's console is that she gains an additional 7.5% critical rate for every Type 3 module equipped, meaning that simply filling her console with Type 3 modules already pushes her critical rate extremely high without needing much from substats. This is why Mint is considered one of the easiest and most efficient characters to build during the early and mid-game stages. Prioritize Type 3 modules and focus substats on critical damage after reaching a stable critical rate threshold. For Adler support, Kingdom's Guard is the clearest and most suitable choice for his role. The 4-piece bonus increasing shield effectiveness by 20% is an incredibly valuable buff because Adler specializes in providing shields and reducing incoming damage for the entire team, meaning this set directly synergizes with his core mechanics. For modules on Adler, prioritize Type 4 in order to maximize HP and DF on the main stats, making his shields thicker and more durable during extended boss fights. This is a simple but effective build. There's no need to force critical stats or complicated ATK setups. Just equip enough Type 4 modules with DEF and HP substats, and Adler will already perform his role extremely well. If you use Chiz as a tank, then Kingdom's Guard can also work similarly for her, combined with Type 4 modules to maximize HP and shield strength. One common mistake I see many players make is believing that equipping more than 4 modules grants additional set bonuses. That's not true at all. Set bonuses only activate at the 2-piece and 4-piece thresholds. Any additional modules beyond that only provide raw stats and do not unlock extra effects. The second major mistake is ignoring the importance of matching module shapes with the console layout. Remember, modules must be placed in the correct shape and orientation in order to count as valid. If the configuration doesn't activate properly, then a large portion of the stats you invested into are effectively being wasted. To summarize, the console system in NTE may look complicated at first, but once you understand the logic behind it, it becomes genuinely fun and surprisingly deep. The key things to remember are: farm the correct rabbit hole for the cartridge set you need, use Rewind to hunt the proper module type for each character, match module shapes correctly to activate set bonuses, and seriously start farming console gear once you reach Hunter level 30 so you can obtain high-stat S-Rank modules. If this video helped you better understand the console system, leave a like so I know you want more in-depth guides like this in the future. Comment below and let me know which cartridge set you're currently using and which character you're building. I read every comment, and I might even reply to yours. And most importantly, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do it right now. I'm still at the very beginning of building this channel, and your support genuinely means a lot in helping me continue creating more high-quality NTE content. See you guys in the next video.